Now in 4 News Now at 6, trash, graffiti, and crime are just some of the issues many are dealing with in downtown Spokane. How the city's plan for a new director of transportation and sustainability is meant to keep you safe.
More fog and low clouds, but I am tracking a change. I'll show you when we can expect the return of rain and snow in the first alert forecast.
And a man standing in the median of I-90 near State Line, Idaho, accused of firing off dozens of shots with a pistol and rifle. Why the 23-year-old suspect says his original plan was never to hurt anyone. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
And we begin with some breaking news. Transgender high school athletes may no longer be allowed to participate in girls' sports in Washington. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The governing body of high school sports has proposed an amendment that would change girls' sports to be limited to students assigned as female at birth. There is also a second amendment that would create 3 separate divisions, one for boys, one for girls, and an open division where anyone, including transgender athletes, could participate. This comes after several school districts, including Meade and Central Valley school districts, asked the organization to review its policy. Now, the current policy states all students have the opportunity to participate in athletics and/or activities in a manner that is consistent with their gender identity. The WIAA says this policy is based on state and federal law.
At the center of the argument, many critics say transgender athletes have an unfair advantage. Here's what one Ridgeline High School student had to say on this issue last month.
When I ran cross country for Green Acres Middle School, a boy who is biologically male but identified as female competed on the girls' team. He performed exceptionally well, beating over half of the competition. While I respect everyone's right to participate in sports, this situation made me question the fairness of competing against someone who had the physical advantages associated with male biology.
One woman at the same meeting says anytime schools talk about creating new rules for transgender students, it has a major impact on these kids, including her own daughter.
It was 2 years ago, almost to the date, when I addressed this board. But then it was an anti-transgender policy about bathrooms. And I shared at that time, I don't know how many of you were here 2 years ago, that my Katie Thu died by suicide that fall. And this is a real issue that is hurting real people every time this topic gets debated.
Both of these amendments will be finalized next month, and the WIAA will vote on them in April.
Also breaking tonight, within the last half hour, we've learned 2 14-year-olds in Whitman County are now facing charges for threatening to bring a gun to school to shoot a teacher. Police say that took the 2 teens into custody before classes began at Pullman High School. Out of an abundance of caution, the school was placed on a brief secure and teach alert. As of right now, police say no gun has been recovered. Well, keeping you and your family safe was top of mind when the city of Spokane was planning its 2025-2026 budget.
And the city says that budget does just that. Madeline Mullins is live in downtown Spokane tonight. Madeline, what changes to the budget will help improve the safety of the Spokane community?
Well, one of the first steps in helping the community feel safe is making sure that the city they live in is clean, which is why the city council made room in the budget to add 3 new code enforcement officers dedicated to cleaning up the trash downtown.
With public testimony, we kept hearing a lot about abandoned cars, trash everywhere.
And people living in Spokane are seeing it as well.
Then we have a clean team that works 7 days a week. Picking up garbage, removing litter, illegal dumping, graffiti, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, we continue to see the need continue to grow.
With this $500,000 budget allocation for 3 new code enforcement officers, the downtown team will be able to dedicate its time to cleaning up the streets downtown.
We talked to code enforcement. We asked them, what do you need? Which is a great place to start. And they said if we had 3 more positions, we could make a significant difference.
Keeping the streets safe does not just mean cleaning them up. It means making them safe to drive and walk on as well.
Whether you're walking, cycling, on the bus, in a car, crossing the street, safe for everybody. That's why we renamed it Safe Streets for All.
The Safe Streets for All Fund has been around for a while. but in the 2025-2026 budget, the city will move money from that fund allocated towards the police department and allocate it to a director of transportation and sustainability and infrastructure.
Making streets quieter, it's about making streets more vibrant, and it's about just making people feel safer and feel more connected to the rest of their community.
The fund and the director will work to add red light cameras and other traffic calming measures in the streets across town to help the Spokane community feel safe moving around in whichever form of transportation they prefer. Council President Betsy Wilkerson tells me that coming to a decision on the budget is a long and difficult process, but she says she hopes by adding money to these projects, it will help lead to a safer Spokane. Live in downtown Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Madeline, thank you. Well, Spokane police are warning people about a new phone scam. Investigators say this scammer is pretending to be from the organization Partners with Family and Children, and they're even using the name of an actual employee to try and get your personal, medical, and financial information. So if you receive one of these phone calls, you're asked to call Crime Check at the number on your screen, 509-456-2233.
The Spokane City Council has wrapped up its series of homelessness roundtables and will be presenting its findings at a town hall meeting tonight. Since September, City Council members have been meeting with community members, local organizations, and businesses to discuss how it can better address the city's challenges with homelessness. Discussions mainly focus on the city's sit-and-lie law and pedestrian interference law. People provided feedback on these laws while also making suggestions on how the ordinances could better serve the community. We will be at tonight's town hall meeting and have more on what those suggestions look like tonight on 4 News Now Nightside.
Let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who's tracking a major change in the First Alert Weather Center.
That's right. One more day of gray skies and foggy conditions on Wednesday, and then we have some changes on the way. Possibility of some light snow on Thursday. It's not going to amount to much, and then a wintry mix of precipitation over the weekend. Some rain, some freezing drizzle, some snow, but little to no accumulation down in the valleys. Let's talk about timing on Thursday. We're going to start the forecast radar off at 5 a.m. You can see a little bit of wet weather moving into the Moses Lake area in the pre-dawn hours. By 10 a.m. we have a mix of rain and snow working its way across the Palouse and parts of the Columbia Basin, finally into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area by the afternoon, falling primarily as snow, but some of the lowest valleys may see non-accumulating snow or a rain-snow mix. We dry out Thursday night for just a slight chance of snow on Friday. Meanwhile, Thursday's snowfall totals will be very light. We are looking at tenths of an inch, if that. Many locations won't receive any measurable snow, and if you do get snow at your house, it won't be around long enough to shovel. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Derek.
Well, a 67-year-old man died in a rollover collision this morning. It happened just north of the town of Fairview on Highway 27. According to Washington State Patrol, it's likely the man lost control going into a curve while driving in the dark. WSP says it's possible alcohol was a factor in the crash due to empty liquor bottles found in the car. A scary scene unfolded last night on I-90 near State Line in Post Falls as an Idaho man opened fire on passing traffic.
It's suspected that man fired around 40 bullets, hitting 2 vehicles. 4 News Now's Hunter Bertram shows us what happened in court today.
Today, traffic is flowing as normal near State Line on I-90. However, that wasn't the case less than 24 hours ago when a man opened fire onto oncoming vehicles. Soon after that gunfire Monday around 8 p.m., 911 calls flooded in. Law enforcement then swiftly shut down both directions of I-90 near Cabela's and Post Falls. In Kootenai County Court today, the accused shooter, 23-year-old Wyatt Armstrong from Coeur d'Alene.
This is my first time I've ever been in trouble other than a speeding ticket.
Which is true according to court documents.
This wasn't a targeted attack. It was just firing into a crowd, basically. This is very concerning. And
also in court documents, Armstrong told officers on scene he was on his way to take his own life in Rosalia. But before he made it there, he says his truck broke down. And this is where Wyatt Armstrong claims his truck broke down in the median of I-90 near State Line. Shortly after that, it's alleged he shot around 40 to 41 shots into oncoming traffic, one hitting a passing semi, another hitting his own vehicle. After detaining Armstrong, officers say they found an AR-style rifle and a pistol in his truck. A breathalyzer test also performed at the scene with Armstrong indicated samples of 0.131% and 0.128% blood alcohol concentration. The legal limit in Idaho for adults is 0.08.
Given those circumstances and just the egregious nature of the risk presented to the public with this conduct, I am setting your bond in the amount of $500,000.
Armstrong is charged with and being held on 2 felonies related to shooting a gun at an occupied car. In Post Falls, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, still ahead, officials in Florida plan on sinking an old ship that once carried President John F. Kennedy and even the Mona Lisa. Why they say sending it to the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico is meant to help the environment.
Plus, the man accused of killing the United Healthcare CEO struggles with officers as he's being led into the courtroom. What he said to officers and what's next in the case coming up right after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Save your greed!
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Another successful year, our 8th year making spirits bright in Cowley Park. The 4 News Now Extreme team couldn't do it without all the volunteers and companies that helped us. So we hope you enjoy it. And we want to thank Horizon Credit Union for always showing up and getting the job done.
Elegance, style, quality, custom made for your project. Agalite shower doors and bath enclosures by River City Glass are designed for a lifetime of use. Timeless beauty that speaks for itself with superior quality and exceptional value. Offering exquisite custom wine room enclosures and office room glass, specializing in custom mirrors crafted to fit your space. Producing high-performance glass for every project, residential and commercial. River City Glass.
Ring in the holiday season with some reindeer riches at the Kootenai Casino in Bonners Ferry. Santa's got you on his list for 12 days of giveaways and a New Year's Eve countdown to cash. Midweek rates start at $59 in the Kootenai Falls Lodge and $79 in our Riverview rooms. And join us for December Holly Jolly Hot Spins and Weekend Spin and Win. Come celebrate all December at the Kootenai Casino and win big. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Moving day never goes smoothly, does it? Let's just settle this little mishap.
Who do we always see on the billboards again?
It's the one call that's all, guys.
You deserve to be compensated fairly for everything you've had to go through.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Well, you are looking at video of the man accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare struggling with officers as they were walking him into a Pennsylvania courtroom earlier today. Luigi Mangione is now fighting his extradition back to New York City to face murder charges.
On top of that, he's facing separate gun charges in Pennsylvania. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest on this case.
26-year-old murder suspect Luigi Mangione is struggling with police officers as he was brought to a Pennsylvania court today for an extradition hearing, yelling out to the cameras.
And clearly out of touch and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Seen in his booking photo, Mangione today challenging extradition to New York, where he faces murder charges in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. His lawyer at one point telling him not to say a word when he tried to interject during the hearing. The judge ordering Mangione held without bail.
Our primary focus is to cooperate with the New York City Police Department and Manhattan District Attorney's Office so this defendant can be prosecuted for his New York homicide charge.
According to the New York arrest warrant, Mangione had written admissions about the crime with him when he was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania Monday. We're learning Mangione considered the killing to be a symbolic takedown of United Healthcare over perceived corruption and, quote, power games, according to a confidential assessment of the crime described to ABC News by the NYPD Intelligence Bureau. The assessment is based in part on the suspect's writings. Mangione allegedly described himself as the first to face United Healthcare with such brutal honesty. Mangione's former roommate says he never spoke about violence.
He was absolutely a not violent person. As far as I could tell.
Sources tell us Mangione also wrote these parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. Authorities now working to piece together his movements over the last 6 days, asking for the public's help in tracing his steps. The Altoona Police Department saying they're now facing threats in this case that's garnered widespread attention on social media.
This is clearly a very polarized case. We have received some threats against our officers in building here. We've started investigating some threats against some citizens in our community.
There's also concerns about threats against healthcare executives and their families. A Colorado law enforcement bulletin obtained by ABC News warns this killing could be used as messaging and propaganda aimed at others who are unhappy with the insurance industry. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
One more day of low clouds and fog. Will be down below freezing to start the day, so there'll be some slick spots on the sidewalks, streets, and parking lots. We're heading up to a high of 35, which is just about average. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
Bigger, brighter, and better than ever. Check in on the new Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. We've just completed a major expansion, adding more amenities to elevate your guest experience to new heights.
So, what are you waiting for?
Magical moments. Snowy adventures. Warming up. Making memories. A winter wonderland. The perfect close-by getaway this winter is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Find countless ways to play and plan your escape at cdawinter.com.
Life is an opportunity to grow, to feel, to excel. Life moves at its own pace, daring you to keep up. Life pushes you to be better and to go farther. Life has you here. We're just here to help.
This Christmas, treat yourself or a loved one to a new vehicle from Finley.
With delayed payments until February 1st and bigger than normal trade-in values for your old ride, giving you plenty of reasons to upgrade to a new Toyota RAV4 or Tacoma or Tundra truck, or get closeout savings on the all-new all-wheel drive Camry or Prius.
We've got lots of great choices for everyone.
I'm looking for something sporty and fast.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Ho, ho, ho!
The highest art is beautiful, timeless, inspired by the divine. Shenyun. Coming to Spokane, First Interstate Center for the Arts. Shenyun.com.
Feel the power of big win energy at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, where the winning never stops. Last month, our guests scored big with thrilling jackpots and exciting payouts. Are you ready to elevate your winning?
Well, on your screen is the USS United States. While it might not look like much now, this rusted old ship carried presidents, movie stars, and even the Mona Lisa. It also once held the record for fastest trip across the Atlantic Ocean. That was back in 1952. But it will soon serve a new purpose. It's recently been purchased by a county in Florida that plans on sinking it into the Gulf of Mexico. The hope is to turn it into the world's largest artificial reef. Their goal is to preserve the environment and to attract divers. Interesting.
Right? That is very Florida. It's creative. It's not what you would expect. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, who knows?
The reefs.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Reuse, recycle.
There
Would
you
not
go.
have thought of it that way. Well, let's talk about some changes coming in our forecast. We just have one more repeat of the Groundhog Day that has been most of December. Downtown right now, we are looking over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena at that persistent deck of stratus clouds over the area. Our sunset tonight was at 3:58. That is the earliest our sunset gets. It is going to start getting a little bit later, slowly starting later this week. Visibility right now is pretty good across the region, with the exception of on the West Plains where it's down to a mile. We will see that fog, patchy freezing fog, developing through tomorrow morning, and then some clearing. Visibility around the region, we're in good shape in most locations, even down in the Tri-Cities where they've been socked in. This is at the surface, though. Most of the region is still shrouded in those low clouds. You had to go up into the mountains today to really see the sunshine. Our chance of precipitation over the next several days goes from 0 tomorrow up to 40 Thursday, a little bit of a lull Friday, and then we're heading into a wet weekend with a variety of precipitation types. I think by the end of Saturday evening, if you haven't, or Sunday evening, if you haven't touched a shovel, that's probably fine. Very little accumulation. If it does accumulate briefly, it will likely melt by Saturday evening. I'm going to take you through the next several days because we are seeing a whole-scale change in our weather pattern. Ridge of high pressure is in place right now, but that is finally breaking down. During the day on Wednesday, we'll start bringing in some light precipitation Thursday and Friday. More meaningful wet weather on Saturday. Here's midnight, Friday night into Saturday. It may start off. That might be our trickiest time on the roads. Late Friday night into Saturday morning, where we could have some freezing drizzle, some snow. But when we warm up during the day on Saturday, and we'll likely do some melting, next round of wet weather coming in Sunday into Monday. Here's Monday at 5 o'clock, also with that rain snow mix. And there's another system waiting to move in almost seamlessly. Snow levels will be down in the valleys for the next couple of days because we're dry tomorrow. Thursday, that chance of snow, but then it starts creeping up. By Saturday, it's up at 3,200 feet. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 20s in most locations. A few 30s and teens on the map. Will be in the 30s in most spots tomorrow. Kellogg getting up to 40, 44 in Lewiston. And then the wet weather moves in starting Thursday, continuing through the weekend and into early next week. Right now it looks like a mix of rain, snow, sleet, possible freezing drizzle. Best chance to run into some icy roads in the morning, but we'll do a lot of melting during the day. Kirsten.
All right, lots of changes. Thank you, Chris. While crews in California are battling a fast-moving wildfire in Malibu. Hear from one woman who was woken up in the middle of the night and told to evacuate. Coming up on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Shop consigned furniture and jewelry first for new, consigned, and even one-of-a-kind pieces. New shipments coming in every day. Save up to 70% off retail. If you don't see the price you like, make us an offer.
Consigned furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
Why do people come to the University of Washington? They come here to find people who will inspire them, move them, change them. They come to solve big problems and prepare for careers where they can make a difference. They come to cheer on their Huskies in the greatest setting in college football. If you want to change the world, this is where you start. For passion, for possibility, be boundless.
Experience winter fun at Silver Mountain Resort. Discover some of the best terrain in the region, just 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Relax in a beautiful condo, just a short stroll from the gondola, dining, exciting water slides, and indoor surfing at the water park. Enjoy a gondola ride to our exhilarating snow tubing and your gateway to snow rider heaven. Create unforgettable family memories at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
With prices of natural gas and propane skyrocketing, your heating bill is getting out of control. But before you turn down the heat, give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. They have the latest in dual fuel technology to keep your family comfortable and the utility bills low. There has never been a better time to upgrade because now every furnace purchase comes with a free heat pump. So call Bill's Heating today to get your free heat pump while supplies last.
The fridge is broken. How are we going to replace it before the holidays?
Swing into Fred's Appliance today and experience unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. This spacious GE French door refrigerator is on sale now for only $13.99. With a large capacity of 27 cubic feet, this refrigerator will easily store large or bulk food items with 3 full-width shelves. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Shop Consign Furniture and Jewelry first for new, consigned, and even one-of-a-kind pieces. New shipments coming in every day. Save up to 70% off retail. If you don't see the price you like, make us an offer.
Consign Furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mamma Mia. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Well, newly released data shows babies born dependent on substances are exponentially higher here in Spokane compared to the rest of the country.
Maddie's Place, a local nonprofit that works to address this issue, recently got hundreds of thousands in county funding to expand its resources. But now it's asking the state for millions in funding. Alexandra Cohen-Yards breaks down the numbers and what local activists are most concerned about.
When Maddie's Place opened its doors, it had to fight to prove that babies born relying on substances is a real issue here in Spokane. But new research is showing that this is true. Recent data from Washington State shows that neonatal abstinence syndrome, a condition where babies are born with substance withdrawals due to exposure in the womb, was more than 3 times as frequent in Spokane in 2022 as the national average in 2021.
This is a huge problem. It's not working, it's expensive, it's a disaster for the moms.
Sean Cross, founder of Maddie's Place, a nonprofit recovery nursery that treats babies with NAS, fears this issue has gone unseen.
My experience is that no one really knew about this outside the medical community, and it's just not discussed.
A new report from the Washington State Healthcare Authority was due at the beginning of December, but has been delayed until January. Maddie's Place, feeling the urgency to secure state funding for next year, released a draft of the data itself. For those who work there, the thought of not getting that funding is terrifying.
I can't imagine what our region, what Spokane would be like without Maddie's Place.
For Cross, the most concerning part of the data is what we cannot see for the years of 2023 and 2024, since overdose responses in the region have more than doubled since 2022.
Fentanyl has gone up tremendously over the last 2 years. We're in a free fall, and we don't have any data.
Maddie's Place offers free care in a low-stress, home-like environment. Since it does not get any reimbursements, these services can get expensive. But those who work at the nonprofit hope that the positive results Maddie's Place has had shows what can be done to address this issue.
The opportunity to go upstream and figure out why this is happening and stop it from happening in a really dramatic way.
In Spokane, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
Well, a federal judge blocks the merger between Kroger and Albertsons.
We'll explain why and which local grocery stores would have to be sold off if the deal ends up going through coming up.
Plus, scammers are finding new ways to steal your information online, the signs to look out for, and what to do if you think you've been tricked, coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Tomorrow morning, Elton John, exclusive. From his incredible career to his battles with addiction to how he's doing now.
I'm still standing after all this time.
I'm still standing, and I am better than I ever did.
Only on
Good Morning America.
Wow.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Hadestown, returning to Spokane December 21st and 22nd. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
It's here once again. An adventure in Coeur d'Alene with family and friends. Trees will light up, snow will fall, while you're dining, shopping, and having a ball. Santa and STCU hit elves in secret spots, so keep an eye out and you could win lots. If you find our elf on a shelf while in downtown Coeur d'Alene, a Fig Pickles shopping spree, Gonzaga tickets, or gift cards you could gain. Explore CDADowntown.com if you want to learn more.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, Spokane Cops no longer has to worry about shutting down at the end of this year.
Yeah, the Spokane City Council is now urging the mayor's office to extend the nonprofit's contract, including $125,000 in funding. Derek Strom spoke with Spokane Cops and the city council members about the surprising decision.
This 3-month extension of Spokane Cops' contract with the city of Spokane will allow the organization to stay afloat through around March. The next step is the city's request for proposals process, which should begin within the next few weeks.
It's 90 days where we can kind of start to plan for what's next.
Spokane Cops Executive Director Jeff Johnson says he's pleasantly surprised with the Spokane City Council's unanimous vote to extend Cops' contract with the city, but now the nonprofit is focusing on the request for proposal process, which is how Cops hopes to secure a long-term contract.
There's a chance the RFP could come out written in a way that we won't qualify for, and so then what? Do we call it good? Do we look for some other partners and go it alone?
Johnson expects the request for proposals to include an 18-month-long contract with around $350,000 in funding. He says that amount of money would require Cops to find other funding sources, even if it was awarded the contract.
We're all about crime prevention. And I'm afraid, from what I have heard, that they might be leaning towards a model that's more criminal advocacy, which would not be anything at all like what Spokane Cops does right now.
Johnson believes the dozens of people that showed up to city council meetings in support of Cops led to the unanimous vote Monday night. City Council President Betsy Wilkerson says extending Cops' contract was mainly to make sure it could participate in the RFP process.
How do we deliver the same services with less volunteers? Is that more technology? What does that look like? Or is that more partnerships? What does that look like? I'm hoping the RFP will give us opportunities for those answers.
Wilkerson believes community-oriented policing should play a role in the Spokane community, whether Cops stays open or not. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, here's a live look over a cloudy night in downtown Spokane. We have more clouds on the way that could bring rain and maybe even a little bit of snow. Let's send it over to Chris Crocker, who's tracking the return of some winter weather.
That is right. We have some big changes coming starting starting off slowly on Thursday and then taking off the weekend. In the meantime, however, tomorrow is going to look a lot like today with low clouds and fog, but just one more day like that. 4 things to know about your weather: a foggy gray Wednesday, some light snow possible on Thursday, and I'll talk more about our odds of accumulation later in the broadcast, and then a wintry mix for the weekend. I don't think we're going to see much, if any, accumulation. If it does accumulate briefly at your house, it likely will not stick around, as our high temperatures are on the increase, along with our chance of precipitation. In the meantime, hour by hour, your Wednesday forecast: light winds, overcast conditions, 29 degrees to start the day. We'll be in the mid-30s for a high, which is just about average. And then we start cooling down at about 4 o'clock. That's our sunset time these days. 3:58. We'll be down below freezing by 6 o'clock. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and a close look at the precipitation on the way in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. The $25 billion merger between Albertsons and Kroger may be dead in the water, with a federal judge ruling it violates antitrust laws. As of now, Kroger has not said if it will appeal that decision. Critics of the deal argue it would lessen competition and give Kroger too much power to raise prices for shoppers. Kroger, though, argues the two companies merging would allow it to lower prices and be more competitive against other companies like Walmart and Amazon.
If the deal does go through, Kroger and Albertsons would need to sell off 579 stores. 2 of those are in Spokane: the Safeway on 29th Avenue, where I ran into Kirsten just yesterday morning, and the Safeway on East Sprague. No stores in North Idaho would be affected.
Well, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club unless you're a student in one very special English class at Ferris High School.
I gotta take Fight Club up a notch. Each one of you has a homework assignment. You're gonna start a fight with a total stranger.
Well, you know the movie, but instead of getting into random fights, this real-life class and these students are going through an English class unlike any other. In the class, students hit the literacy, characters, and elements into the mental health battles in their own lives.
We have conversations about how to name an emotion, and then how to sit with an emotion. And when you do that, it's easier to talk about what a character is going through. It's easier to articulate the difficulties of feeling shame or guilt when you have language around it.
And you can hear from the students who call this program a game changer and the important lessons that these students remember, and the #1 rule of Ferris High School Fight Club. Watch Robin Nance's special report right now on KXLY.com.
It's worth your time. Well, Christmas Eve is just 2 weeks away, and if you plan on mailing gifts to your loved ones, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, a mailbox center in Spokane Valley can help you out with all your packing and shipping needs, though. Owner Kalina Greer says the sooner you get your packages shipped, the better. However, if you're planning on doing your Christmas shopping this weekend, you will be able to make it in time for Christmas. You want to make sure that those packages are shipped by Monday for deliveries to the East Coast and Wednesday for the West Coast.
And then anything after that, we really still can get it there by Christmas, but we're going to be putting it on an airplane, and it is going to be very costly, but it can still get there.
Another reminder, if your presents are wrapped, you still need to put them in a brown shipping box. That mailbox center on Sprague and Argonne has all the tools to make sure your packages arrive in one piece and on time.
To my apartment.
And if you're one of the many people who are buying gifts online this year, you'll want to make sure you aren't getting scammed. CNN's Brian Abel shows us some of the red flags to look out for and what to do if you don't catch them in time.
Yes, 'tis the season of stealing to go along with the giving. Digital thieves trying to take advantage. And experts say they're not changing their playbook because Americans keep falling for the scams.
For scammers, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Because we're shopping more than at any point, throughout the year.
Those scams can be anywhere. Email, text messages, even while scrolling social media.
Unfortunately, scammers can follow us just like legitimate marketers.
They can track our cookies, see where we're going, see what we're searching for, and then you'll see an ad pop up for something that you searched for maybe an hour ago.
Some of the top scams to be looking out for this year, according to experts, include those package non-delivery alerts. Text from scammers pretending to be shipping companies, hoping you'll click that link. Fake charities asking for a donation, gift card exchange or giveaway schemes, and those fake or misleading social media products.
We see a lot of websites pop up that have the same look and feel as a legitimate retailer, but maybe one of the letters in the URL are off.
There are ways you can protect yourself, your finances, and your data by making sure the business is reputable, strengthening passwords, and by avoiding those questionable links in text or emails.
If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. If someone's offering it for a quarter of the price, half the price, you definitely vet the company that is offering that, because again, it's likely a scam.
Now, if you do fall for one of the scams, one of the things you can do is call your bank. Most banks have some sort of fraud protection at varying levels, and you may be able to get your cash back into your account or get identity theft protection to help with the aftermath. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Well, we're nearing the end of non-conference play for our local college basketball teams.
Yeah, WSU Cougars have just 3 games left before they begin West Coast Conference play.
Yeah, they've only lost 2 of those games in that non-conference slate, and they've been winning some big ones without one of their star players. We're going to hear more from Coach David Riley on the Cougs' progress so far this season and where the players with injuries stand. That's coming up next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap and Associates.
I think it's important for us as tribal people to educate and inform others as to who we are and what we're about. We have a beautiful culture that we respect our lands, we respect our waters.
Our medical center serves Indian and non-Indian. We were the first one in the nation to do that.
We built the $25 million core center for the children.
We also house the Boys and Girls Club out of there.
Our employees here are friendly. It gives you that welcome home feeling.
Hello, I'm Diamond Dan Clark.
And I'm Jeweler Jane.
And we're from Clark's Diamond Jewelers in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Our famous snow promotion is back for Christmas.
If it snows 4 inches or more in 24 hours on January 9th, 2025, all purchases made between November 19th and December 28th will be refunded in full. And that means all engagement rings, loose diamonds and gemstones, jewelry and gifts could all be free.
Shop Clark's Diamond Jewelers this Christmas and let it snow diamonds.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. November is National Family Caregivers Month, a month to showcase the important work that more than 820,000 Washingtonians do every day to take care of our loved ones at home where they want to be. You may not think of yourself as a caregiver, but if you're helping someone with daily activities like getting dressed, managing medication, and providing transportation to and from appointments, then you are a caregiver, and help is available. Find tools and tips at this website.
The Christmas season brings out the warmest memories of family and friends. Those memories are filled with decorating and sharing the Plant Farm poinsettias. The Plant Farm poinsettias are bigger, better, and redder, and grown right here in the valley. Bring home your new memories today. The Plant Farm's Power the Flower, the beautiful Plant Farm poinsettias. Because life is better in the garden and home.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press it!
It's our gift to the community, and it's meant to spread holiday cheer.
Can you imagine being in the hospital during the Christmas season and looking out the window and having that glimmer of happiness and joy?
Every year they're better, they're brighter. It's amazing.
It makes it very magical while I'm in the hospital.
Enjoy the lights at Cowley Park all season long. It's our holiday gift to you from the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Well, the Cougs are nearing the end of their non-conference schedule. There's just 3 games left before they start West Coast Conference play. They're already an 8-win team through 10 games and most recently took home a big win against Boise State on the road. It was no doubt an important quad 1 win for Washington State, but it's even better knowing they aren't at peak health and could still convincingly take down the Broncos. The Cougs' leading scorer, Cedric Coward, is still out though, and head coach David Riley confirmed today that Coward is in fact having shoulder surgery. He hasn't had surgery yet, and there's no timeline on when it could be or how long Coward would be out after surgery. So the Cougs will roll without him for now, which hasn't proved to be too much of a problem. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, missing their starting guard.
Feeling good about our progress. I think the main thing that we've been teaching is not everything in each game is all bad. Not everything in each game is all good. We had a big game versus Boise State. Won against a great team, but we still have a bunch of stuff we got to work on. We're sticking with the process. We've got a long way to go. We're not trying to be the best team in December. We're trying to be the best team in March.
WSU will also be missing Marcus Wilson and Rahard Vavers. Coach says they're both out for the foreseeable future, and the Cougs are looking ahead to their game against Missouri State back at home. That game tips off at 2 o'clock this Saturday. Checking in on the Zags, they're back home from Seattle and getting ready to go back on the road. Another big game on a big stage. They'll take on number 18 UConn in Madison Square Garden this Saturday. Gonzaga's challenging non-conference schedule continues as the Bulldogs are hoping to get back in the win column. Tip-off is Saturday at 5 o'clock. And the Gonzaga women are back home after a loss in overtime to Colorado State last weekend. They dropped to now 4-6. That's their worst start to a season under head coach Lisa Fortier. They've lost 4 of their 5 starters from last season and are trying to find a rhythm with the new faces and the veterans stepping up. Mount Hybens led the team in rebounds this weekend with a career-high 19. They're looking for another big effort this Saturday. They take on Eastern Washington, who is also on the struggle bus at just a 2-7 record. That game also tips off on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Washington State is set to play Syracuse in a few weeks for the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Coug fans might not know much about the Orange, but Syracuse is coming off of a huge win against a ranked Miami team led by former WSU quarterback Cam Ward. The Syracuse win was a factor in knocking Miami out of the college football playoffs and just a big win for the program as a whole. Like Washington State, the Orange rely heavily on their quarterback Kyle McCord.
One thing to early look at it is, obviously a prolific offense. They're averaging 363 yards per game passing. Yeah, I got to dive into that. That's an amazing challenge in and of its own. Obviously the McCord kid has been fantastic.
Syracuse is asking themselves the same question the Cougs are asking. Is our starting quarterback playing in the bowl game? So far, no word on Mateer entering the transfer portal, but also no word on if he's staying. A source has told us that an NIL package has been offered to Mateer, and they anticipate knowing an answer by the end of the week. Of course, a highly anticipated answer for sure. The Cougs head to California for their bowl game on December 27th. Derek?
Yeah, a lot of Coug fans on pins and needles over that. Sydney, thank you. One of Spokane's sports icons has announced his cancer is back. In July, Chicago Cubs legend and Baseball Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg said he was cancer-free after an 8-month battle with metastatic prostate cancer. But today, the North Central High School grad said the cancer has relapsed and spread to other organs. Sandberg says he'll continue to be positive, strong, and fight to beat this.
On your screen right now, video of crews in California battling a wildfire in Malibu that is forcing families from their home. Investigators say that fire started late last night and quickly burned at least 3 square miles.
CNN's Veronica Miracle shares the story of one woman who had to rush out of her home and rescue her animals in the middle of the night.
Malibu's scenic hills ablaze after a fast-moving wildfire exploded overnight.
From a 1 to 10, it was like a 15, scary.
The Franklin fire tripling in size in just 1 hour. At one point, scorching the equivalent of 5 football fields every minute since it ignited late Monday evening, prompting evacuation orders.
Everything, all these mountains were covered in flames, just covered. Like you took a crayon and just colored everything.
Linda Michelle is a caretaker who lives on a property with horses in the evacuation zone. She says she awoke to a wall of flames surrounding the area and had to scramble to save the animals.
Woke everybody up, got everybody in the car. It was all 2 a.m. Nobody had time to get dressed. Everybody jumped in the cars, like, get out of here. And then after that, I must have had like 30 minutes to run around and try to get the horses. And we didn't know what we were going to do. Like, we could not leave them in the barn. Thank God we didn't leave them in the barn because the barn burnt down.
You can see the wind down there.
The inferno fueled by dry conditions and Southern California's infamous Santa Ana winds, creating what fire officials call a, quote, particularly dangerous situation. Some wind gusts reaching 40 to 60 miles per hour. The flames destroying some homes and threatening businesses, even the iconic Malibu Pier.
It has definitely been a stressful and very tiring night.
Hundreds at nearby Pepperdine University had to shelter in place for hours in the campus library. Classes were canceled on Tuesday.
I called my friends, found whatever friends I had in the same residential hall as me, and I just packed a bag. We look out the window and, the sky is red.
And that was Veronica Miracle reporting. Fire officials were hoping to get some relief with winds or weakening winds today, but authorities say they don't expect the critical fire conditions to improve until at least tomorrow afternoon.
33 degrees our high temperature today after a morning low of 30, only 3 degrees on the thermometer today. 3:58 our sunset time. That is going to be getting a little bit later this week. I will be back with your 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's our Drive Home the Holiday Sales Event, where you'll save up to $16,000 off or 0% APR on a new Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange. We're family owned and operated at GMC of Riverfront Park.
Looking for a new appliance but don't want to wait weeks for delivery? At Fred's Appliance, our Get It Today inventory makes sure you don't have to. Thanks to our fully stocked warehouses, we have a vast selection of appliances ready for you right now. From refrigerators to washing machines, ovens to dryers, you name it, we have it ready to go. No more waiting, no more delays. Just the appliance you need when you need it. Fred's Appliance. If we advertise it, we've got it. Visit any of our showrooms and get your new appliance today.
Did you know that Washington's Working Families Tax Credit could put up to $1,200 back in your pocket? If you're part of a low to moderate income household, you could be eligible for a refund designed to help you cover essentials like groceries, gas, or bills. The best part? Applying is free and easy. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov to see if you qualify. Don't miss out. Apply now and make sure you get the refund you deserve. That's workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Wherever you need us, American On Site.
Spokane Valley Summer Theater's beloved annual favorite, A Big Band Christmas, is back with a fresh new story featuring a 17-piece big band, world-class singers from around the region, a children's chorus, nativity, and Santa and Mrs. Claus. It's holiday magic for the entire family. One weekend only, December 20th through 22nd with free parking. Tickets on sale now at svsummertheater.com or call 509-368-7897.
It's our Drive Home the Holiday Sales Event, where you'll save up to $9,000 off or 3.9% APR on a new Sierra 2500 HD Denali. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange. We're family owned and operated at GMC of Riverfront Park.
4 News Now is brought to you by Brothers Flooring.
Our December doldrums are just about over. We're going to take things up a notch starting Thursday, but really as we get into the weekend, Wednesday, areas of freezing fog. In fact, we've already had some reports of freezing fog out in the Columbia Basin tonight. We're going to head up to a high of 35, which is just about average. 34 now is our average high. Here is the chance of only a 1/10 of an inch of snow or more on Thursday. And as you can see, our odds are not particularly good for most of the region for just the smallest amount of measurable snow. Very little chance in Moses Lake and Omak. It's up to 39% in Lewiston. By the time we get to Coeur d'Alene, 49% and just slightly better than 50% chance that we're going to see that chance of snow in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, a 57% chance of snow. 1/10 of an inch or more in Sandpoint. Once we take that up to an inch or more, all these numbers practically go down to 0. Here's a look at some of the forecasted snowfall totals around the region. Even in the mountains with this first system, accumulations will be fairly light, and this takes us through Thursday night at 9 o'clock. We'll get a little bit of a break, and then a hit and miss snow shower possible Friday. More wet weather coming in on Saturday, actually Friday late night, right around midnight. And because of the timing of that, we may see a wintry mix of snow with minor accumulations and then turning all to rain by the time we're in Saturday afternoon. There'll be that period of time where we could have some freezing drizzle, a slushy mess. So Saturday morning's drive to do your holiday errands might be a bit of a challenge, but by the time we're into the day on Saturday, our snow level will be up around 3,200 feet. It's kind of a nice spot to find the snow level. It's plenty of snow for our mountains and the skiers, but keeps things pretty smooth sailing down in the valleys as you travel around the region on your early holiday fun plans. Wednesday morning lows will be down in the 20s and lower 30s in most locations. Highs tomorrow ranging from 23 degrees in Winthrop to 44 in Lewiston. Most spots will make it above freezing. Ritzville an exception, saying socked in with the low clouds and fog. A lot of wet weather through the next 7 days. Right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be doing much shoveling. However, with high temperatures up above freezing, any snow that accumulates at your house likely won't be around long. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And before we go to break, let's take a look at ABC's prime time lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Next ET, we're in London with the studs of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Plus, Paris and Nicole talk their reality TV encore and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
This is why there was tissue.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Sorry, who are you?
I'm Special Agent Will Trent, GBI.
Well, that was easy.
Shouldn't we strategize?
Strategize? Come on, we're gonna improvise.
No.
So what do you think about these? We like this.
Yeah, we love that.
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
We're going to take everything down to the
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs.
Honey, you were right. Turned out.
Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Hard water damage makes it hard to keep your home looking picture perfect. Culligan softeners reduce buildup and cleaning time, transforming your water into the fine art of a long-lasting clean. Culligan, water you love.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year. See your local GMC dealer.
Another successful year, our 8th year making spirits bright in Cowley Park. The 4 News Now Extreme team couldn't do it without all the volunteers and companies that helped us. So we hope you enjoy it. We want to thank Horizon Credit Union for always showing up and getting the job done.
When it comes to taking care of your car, trust the family-owned service department that puts you first. At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we don't just fix cars, we keep your family safe on the road. With no hidden fees or surprise charges, you'll always know exactly what you're paying for. And with us, you only pay a 6% tax on parts, never on labor. Come to Coeur d'Alene Honda, where quality service meets honest pricing every time. Call us to schedule an appointment today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mysticwa Casino Hotel in Chuila.
All right, coming up tonight on Nightside, the Spokane City Council has hosted a series of roundtables hoping to encourage conversations about how to address Spokane's homelessness challenges. Tonight, they'll present what they found. We'll tell you what they revealed at a town hall meeting tonight at 11 on Nightside.
One more gray day and then a lot of wet weather, but boy, the odds of a white Christmas are starting to melt as we get closer to the time. Things can change.
Well, you can always go up the mountains to find some snow, right?
We just saw Olaf is coming up next, so he's going to have things to say about that.
We need his help.